everyone. Whether you're watching now or after the live is over, I want to make sure to give a quick synopsis of what I would like to attempt at least to stay on track and go over in this evening's live. First thing, we will discuss XRP as it's retaken the third place in market capitalization, pushing past Tether, and now it only trails Bitcoin and Ethereum as far as market capitalization in all of crypto, reclaiming its rightful spot at number 3. It's just a better thing for crypto and XRPs in the top 3, in my opinion. But of course, I could be biased. We'll go over XLM, as I wanted to hit it in this morning's update, but I just had so much stuff to talk about this morning that I did not get a chance to go over XLM. So that's something that we're going to hit right off the bat. So we'll start with XRP. We'll get into some XLM. We'll definitely get into looking at ZIL a little bit here as it's up 8% from yesterday. But for the most part, if we do go into other things, we'll definitely get into other things. But as far as XRP, like in the headline, as far as XRP being an all-time highs, that is definitely something that could be targeting if we can push past this this pennant flag. And that resistance right now sits at $2.50. I just want to make sure that this isn't horizontal and that everybody can hear me okay, because YouTube's been having a lot of problems today. Gregory Manarino couldn't even do his live a little while ago. It was so bad. So I'm just hoping that everything is on the up and up for everybody to see. So I'd greatly appreciate it. Man, I would love to see some of you in Tom's Army. A lot of people not in Tom's Army early on. A strong push here at the end, though. That's nice to see. Everything's good. That's awesome to see. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Jorge and Jib, thank you so much for both of you being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. 777 DW Brown, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month. Along with Amanda Love, thank you both so much for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. And that is my face superimposed on that emoji badge, I kid you not. Antonio, welcome in. XRP has no volume. We'll take a look at all of that. Samir, welcome in. Samir. 1970 Legend, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. But also the $9.99 donation says, is XCN worth investing in? I know we looked at that before, but I couldn't find a direct tie. I believe that was the one I couldn't find a direct tie into the IoT, but I'll have to look deeper. Nuno, welcome in. Mandy, thanks for being in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dusty Outhouse Crypto News. Jason, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for, I think that says over a year now with the I Told You So badge. Papa and Darren, thank you both for being in Tom's Army for your 3+ months with the XP Meteor. I just thank you all so much for that. It really does mean a lot to me. It's the only way you can support my work in that kind of a sense is if you pay it forward, and I do appreciate the kind souls that we have in this audience. Daniel, thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months as well. Joey, welcome, and thanks for being in your first month in Tom's Army. I love it. Driver, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 years, or 2 years with the XP 589 Moon Badge. Or wait a minute, 3 years with the XRP Diamond Hands badge for Driver. That's excellent. Syrian, welcome in, a very trusted mod, also in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. I love it. Closing in on that 1-year badge soon. So, XRP here, and I'm sorry if I miss anybody else. I said hi. I acknowledge my audience, but now I have to get into a rhythm. And then we'll talk soon. So, XRP right now is in the pennant flag. When we last spoke last night, if you only watch my lives, because some of you, I think it says about 52% of the live, you guys only watch the live, which is good. I would rather you come watch me in real time so that we can get to know each other. But we discussed yesterday the potential if it was breaking out here, and we just targeted it around the 20-day. But it's going to be a higher target than that because it never came back down at all. So, I mean, if the breakout point is somewhere around here, we were just looking. Here, I'll just keep it how I had it. We were just looking at the breakout, back, test, push out. So, that's what I was thinking would happen yesterday. Get us up in between 262 and 270. We really don't know which part of it. But it's either going to break out and then back test the pennant flag, which is what it should do. And let me just so everybody's like, what the hell is going on here? Because that is not what you need to pay attention to right now. That was just a hypothetical. but there's no reason to confuse everybody on this particular chart. I should have just went to the other one because it's easier to see all of the setup. But this layer broke. We don't need to keep this up here. The only layer reason I keep this is in case it would have come back down for some kind of weird back test, just so it would be in our, on the back of our mind here, at least the peripherals, at $2.22. But if we do push up here, which it's looking pretty strong, I could still see the scenario where it comes down here. But we're trying to push past $2.50. The moment we hold that, we're signaling a push up to all-time highs. The initial target gets you up to about $3.51. That's the initial pennant flag target. When you measure the inside of the pennant flag, the flag itself, that's the target. Yes, there's some short-term intermediate resistance, but if you're looking at just the target, that's the target. Now, if you add the entirety for the pennant itself, and you measure the pennant, the actual pole, the actual technical target, and this is just a little bit higher up at $5.39, which, no small coincidence, that's the target out of the descending wedge, was right around $5.49. So now we're getting some, some validation here. So this is pretty incredible. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, the one thing I am also very aware of, we could come up here to all-time highs and just push the bottom of this uptrending resistance, because that was a support structure all the way up, and now we're on the bottom side of it. So until you get past that cycle uptrend, technically, you're pushing for a bearish hit, as weird as that sounds if you're at all-time highs. Amanda, thank you so much for the $9.99 donation. Says, thank you forever, everything. Oh, I need to read the rest of that. Sounds like it's a nice message. And thank you, Amanda, for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. Thank you forever for everything you do for us, Tom. You are welcome, love. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. I really, really do. I love that so many people find solace in this community. Now, one thing that we do need to break here, and it could be just this consolidation before the breakup. It happens a lot when you're building off of a flag in the short term. But I mean, it is starting to form some kind of ascending. I don't know if I would even call that, if it looks like some kind of channel here at least. So that's why it's important to break past here. This $2.50. We want to get out of here. And then once we get out of here, we'd be wanting to back test the back of this. So it doesn't look like anything's changed. It still looks like we're stuck in the same consolidation as yesterday. It's just, instead of coming down, it looks just more like a bull flag kind of setup. A little bit of a channel. I just call it a flag channel. I mean, I don't really see, unless it wanted to pull down here, and then it's like shoulder, head, shoulder. But that doesn't seem like it. That looks like a flag pull to me. So we'll see, because it looks like, regardless, we're going up to 250, which I think we came pretty close to. 247, but still, I would like to see that dead hit here if it's going to get rejected. Let's see where it's at in real time. I guess 248.7 now, so it's a little bit lower. So we need to get on top of there and then just hold it. We just need to hold it. Massive W reversal, though. Massive. XCN is under a penny, so for $40, you can get 10,000 tokens. Fair. But for my money, for something that's under a penny, IOST was at 0.0068 the last time I looked. And I know that's an IoT token. Where's it at now? Oh, 0071, up 5.7% today. But that I know is an IoT token. And that's at 007. Now, I don't know the circulating supply of XCN, because I know the total supply of IOST is right around the same of XRP when it's all said and done, I believe. But I'm trying to figure it out with XCN. But nobody's been able to give me like a clear, decisive answer. And when I look it up, I can't find the direct correlation. But I wish somebody would tell me one. Mark Caston, thank you so much for the $3 donation. Says, you're the man, Tom. I appreciate that, Mark. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. And it does mean a lot to me, because that's how I fund this show. And if you want to call it funding it, I just turn my tablet on and start going. But hey, XRP price prediction to $4.90. How the 1-day EMA or the 1-day 50 moving average will drive the next wave. I kind of like that area. So a crypto analyst has issued a new XRP prediction forecasting a potential breakout that could see the prominent cryptocurrency skyrocketing to $4.90 with the formation of a classic bull flag pattern in the 1-day 50 moving average, acting as a bullish catalyst. The analyst is increasingly confident that XRP will reach new all-time highs in 2025. The 1-day 50-day moving average will propel XRP price to $4.93. The moving average is a technical indicator used to track, or the 50-day moving average is a technical indicator used to track the average closing price of a cryptocurrency over the last 50 trading days. According to Dr. Dovetail, a TradingView crypto analyst, the 1-day 50-day the 50-day moving average on the daily time frame. Why couldn't they just so the daily indicated by the orange line on his XRP price chart has risen to the lower boundary of a bull flag. The analyst suggested that XRP's price action, which has been in a consolidation phase after its big pump, triggered the formation of the classic bull flag pattern. This bullish continuation pattern typically occurs after a strong upward movement, followed by a price correction that leads to consolidation. Historically, when a cryptocurrency consolidates near strong moving averages like the daily 50-day moving average, or on the 50-day moving average in the daily time frame, it indicates the readiness for a price breakout. Looking at his technical chart, in the daily time frame, the 50-day moving average, or the 50 moving average on the daily, plays a crucial role in this bullish XRP price prediction. This moving average can push the XRP price out of its consolidation nest to its next bullish target. Based on the confluence of technical patterns and indicators, the dotted ascending line in the analyst XRP chart indicates a potential price target of $4.93, highlighting that XRP could achieve this ambitious all-time high before February of 25. I can't disagree with that if it's going to play out of this structure. If it doesn't, it could even be one of those buy the rumor, sell the news when Trump gets inaugurated. We could have this classic blow off the top in the next couple weeks. And then if it's meant to go down, it could buy the rumor, sell the news. Because a lot of people are going to sell or buy the news, but they would be Johnny-come-latelys too. So you never know how this grand market's going to play out. You never know how it's going to play out. So I like to look at it from all aspects. UK Phil, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Love it. Love it. The XRP chart has also indicated a volume bar showing relatively stable activity during the cryptocurrency's consolidation phase. Additionally, the stochastic relative strength index, RSI, at the bottom of the chart suggested that XRP may be oversold, supporting the potential for a breakout. Let's see. According to data from CoinMarketCap, the XRP price is presently trading. It's gone up a little bit to $2.45, $2.46 range. XRP experiences severe downturn. Yeah, so that's that. I like to sometimes read through what some of the things are. Oh, here's another scam alert to the XRP community. So XRP holders. Hey, did I do the intro yet? Did I do the intro yet out of curiosity? If not, I'll timestamp this before I read this. For some reason, I don't feel like I did the intro. No? Okay. So, good evening. 6:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, January 3rd, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. William, welcome in. I see you in the audience. IQ sneaking on in here. Glad to see you in here. So XRP users, and by extension, the broader cryptocurrency community, have been reminded to apply caution online. John Deaton, crypto lawyer and XRP enthusiast, issued a warning on an X post about the increasing sophistication of scams by malicious actors. Notably, Deaton's warning highlights how easy it is to lose one's hard-earned savings from a slight mistake on the user's part. He shared a personal story from 2 years ago to emphasize how mischievous scammers have become and the extent they could go. According to Deaton, there is an increasing need for vigilance and proper security measures as scammers upgrade their techniques He explained how scammers hijacked his personal Wi-Fi network and created fake interactions, impersonating Uphold to manipulate him. So I see he's trying to create a false premise on why Uphold screwed him over. No, I'm just kidding. But isn't it funny? It has to do with Uphold. They're always trying to make some excuse why it's not actually Uphold's fault. I've noticed. Crypto warning. As crypto prices rise and new people enter the space, so do scammers. Some scamming operations are quite sophisticated, whether related to your private wallet or an exchange account. If you get an email with a link, do not click the link unless you are. So, I mean, we know this. This is basic stuff here. This is basic stuff. The crypto lawyer pointed out that such malicious actors usually create a sense of urgency and rely on fear. This panic could easily prompt hasty actions on the user's part, causing them to share sensitive information or click on phishing links. Deaton highlighted the importance of security practices to safeguard his users, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. So they're just pushing the verification. So they're pushing the know your customer. I'll only go over this once. What exchanges do I use? I see a couple of questions. I'll do it one time. Video description below, you can find, well, I'd probably look on here for the live until it uploads. But I use, for where I'm at least holding the stuff and just letting it sit around, I have BITUNIX is the lowest spot in leverage trading fees. So the maker-taker fee there, you can trade in confidence because you don't even have to do the KYC or VPN. You know, you just send your stuff there, trade, and then put it back to your wallet after. If it's in your wallet, you can send it there, sell it, and then send it back via, Tether or whatever. If you don't want to see the transaction on your account. And then kind of trade in privacy. But they have the lowest maker-taker fee. There's so much stuff on there. You can long or short the market. Futures or spot. HOTCOIN has XDC, VELO, IOTA, which is very hard to find on other exchanges in the USA. Crypto.com, I have my DGB and many others on there. I like that portfolio because you have the crypto debit card, and a lot of people sleep on it. I would go to my homepage and click on that if you want to have a crypto debit card. It's not available on all exchanges in the USA, but they have their legal paperwork. Everything's in order as far as for that stuff as of 24. And now we're in 25, obviously. There's DGB and a whole bunch of other things. There's a lot of things on there that's evolving. You can donate Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, but not expected at all. But yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. The close just happened here. Jacoby, thank you for being in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. And thank you for the $1.99. Crypto Dad has good videos on cold wallet setups. Thank you for sharing that to some of the others. Make XRP great again. Hell yes, Tom. We are all going to moon, right? It's something big and works, it looks like. Mike says, I made a deal with husband not to shave my chest or back until XRP is at $10. Well, I said I would sack, and I don't even know if I'll ever cut my hair until I become until XRP gets up to a certain price. Maybe I have to wait until it's 100, but I have often said maybe at $10, but I don't know. I can't see myself cutting my hair anymore. Look how long it is now. I have not cut my hair since July of 2023. I went a whole year, a whole calendar year without cutting my hair, plus a half of a calendar year. So I'm not looking to cut my hair. I'm looking to let it grow until XRP gets to $100, because then everybody in my audience could legitimately be a millionaire off of XRP. If you bought 35 or if you bought 10,000 tokens anywhere along the line. What's it with you guys, crypto and hair? Oh, I don't know what it is with everybody else. I just did this. I don't know. I didn't know there was a thing with everybody else. I just did this back when I broke my hands and my fingers and fucked up my orbital bone. You guys remember how it was back then if you were here. Somebody cut me off on my electric bike, and I was doing like 22 miles an hour, and it wasn't good. But, I healed myself. I don't have medical insurance. I don't trust the doctors and stuff, but if it would have been a little bit worse, I probably would have had to, but everything looked to be set right, and it played out in my favor. Jacoby, thank you so much for re-upping in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. So Julie had cut my hair right after I had that accident, and I said, I'm not going to cut my hair again until XRP hits $1 just to show everybody how long it was going to take. And then you guys seen I couldn't, even if I wanted to cut my hair at $1, and then I said all-time highs could be a way out. And it took so long. My hair was so long by the time it actually hit $1 when I said that. We did not reach $1. It almost took 2 full years from the last time we had seen $1. It's pretty crazy. But it gave us so much time. I kept saying it's the ultimate case study because it's acting as the ultimate stablecoin. It's barely moved. And I love when things do that. It gives you all the time in the world. Even if you want to put $50 a week in, you had plenty of time over a 2-year stretch where you could have bought it 50 cents or cheaper. Heck, there was a lot of times you could have bought it 40 cents and just had a big purchase or cheaper. But just in that same spirit, you could have been 50 cents or cheaper for a while and just went to work. And I like it when you can just chug along. I focused on XRP at 35, but I had other plans on a lot of other things that just took time to come down. Like my biggest score, I still believe, is going to be DGB. How much I built at 004, 006, 007, 009, 1 cent. I think the last one was 104 with all of you. That was 40% ago now. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? We were just sitting here Monday on the live when I proclaimed I am not scared of DGB. And in fact, I'm going to buy my back up to $1 million. And, that was just on Monday. And I remember we were sitting right here and somebody asked if they should buy DGB. And I go, you know what? I'm not afraid to buy it here. In fact, this is where you should be buying it. Am I really going to wait until it goes down to 9.7 and miss it? I go, no, I'm not. I'm going to buy everything I got back because and for anybody who's new, the only reason I even sold out from $1 million is I had bought some down at 0.040. So you guys know the story. I only sold here because I thought it was going to come down to 9.6 and ended up only coming down here. But we were paying attention, but I wanted to buy more ZIL without having to put more money in. And I had 100,000 ZIL. Now I have 343,000 ZIL. So I definitely did what I needed to. But when I got here, I remember having the conversation with everybody on Monday and said, am I really going to miss out on this over 5%? I said, I think not. And I made a ballsy purchase here and said, hey, I'm not afraid. I made it back up to $1 million. And now it's up 40% from there. So anybody could have bought with me live on the air. And I showed the same thing with not just DGB. Yesterday I came on and said, listen, everybody, ZIL is so painfully undervalued right now because look at, it's like this inverse head and shoulders, right? Now, if you look at it across the market, ZIL, it went up about 7.5% today. But ZIL had this exact same down, around, and yesterday I was right here and I'm like, guys, it's so undervalued, and now it came up to the resistance. But yesterday we had drawn it out to do something like this if it wanted to make an inverse arm or something, inverse formation to actually set up. And that's what I think everything's in a long-term work at. That's a big shot up, though, to come back down. So and just like Ethereum I had talked about a play, which I did take the play. I don't leverage trade very often, but that was one I took. And I wanted to influence my own pocketbook there. I got to remake $26,000, so I'm off to a good start. I've remade 2,000 of it, so I still got to grind for 24,000 more. And if anybody knows, that's for my kitchen that I am going to come out of pocket of. That I have the funds sitting within my crypto.com storage, from profit, but I would like to replace that as I'm spending it. So it was a good start for me personally today and some side bag. So I'm grinding. Because the next thing, I'm already doing my windows in my kitchen simultaneously. Unfortunately, my kitchen's only like 74 square feet. My house is a nifty, tidy 1,200 square feet with no basement or upstairs. I live on a cement slab. And then I need to do my floor still. The only good news is I've already paid my house off through good deeds. So, that's one thing that's good. Now I just got to fix it all up. So, it's not as bad as I make it out to be, but the kitchen needs to be remodeled. Hasn't been done since the 70s. I've already done all the HVAC, the air conditioner, the water tank, the heater, or the furnace. So I've done all that. So it's all good. So is it still a good time to buy DGB? It's not that it's not a good time. I would have much rather you have bought it before, but this just looks like to be one big left shoulder up here. So I fully expect it to go much higher. But the question is with these kind of moves, if it holds 1.43, it's going to surge right up and then you probably won't get a chance if it breaks past here. The next chance would be if it comes up here to 159. And then if it breaks that, then you got to talk about the next ladder up to 1.7. But I fully expect DGB up there at 2.3 cents in some amount of time here, unless it just wants to finish this part up here, 195. But I'm going to take these out because these are intermediate. So it's basically, this is what you're looking for in time. But like I said, with a couple of the other ones, you very well could have this inverse pattern setting up. And like, I love XRP like no other. And the reason you know that's true is because I tell the truth about XRP and I don't fluff it. And I want you to own it because you want to own it. But there is some real potential there. And I said a long time ago, and some of you might not know, but I've simply said 10,000 tokens at 35 cents. We're going to do 3,500 to 35,000. I guarantee it. And I said that back in 2022. I made a big speech, a plea of why I do what I do, and that I need my audience to be 100% intact, and we are not to the bottom where we need to be yet. And that was at 40 cents. It proceeded to go to 28 cents. We made a play from 28 to 44, had a nice swing trade to get us some capital. And then we rebought XRP at 34.5 cents and never looked back. And then we accumulated as every single thing hit their points like XRP. We started nailing it and picking them off one by one until now. It's just when I look at my portfolio now, I don't know if any of you remember in 21 when I sold, I said my goal is to have 100,000 DGB. I have 1 million. I said my goal was to have 25,000 ZIL. I have 343,000. I said my goal was to at least have 5,000 IOTA and Algo. I have 10,000 of both. You know, I have 40,000 plus VeChain. I have 200,000 plus IOST that I didn't even know about back in 21. You know, AMP, I'm closing in on 300,000 for this move. You know, there's so much stuff. VELO, 100. Like, there's no way I could have predicted this portfolio in 21. I knew with due diligence we could make it happen by timing the market. See, it's not all about time in the market. It's timing the proper points of the market. And for me, I don't panic when it's doing the resistance support when it's in a bull market or bear market. I just look for the overall targets. And all I know is right now with XRP, I'm not fronting until XRP, and I will look at it the next time it comes to the support structure again. If it doesn't break out, we'll have the same discussion as we had before. If it breaks down, where's the target going to be? Do you sell? Is there going to be a point where you can reject at $2 and make a decision? Yada, yada. We'll go through all that again if it happens. But right now, I don't have to worry about that. You know why? Because we're at the top of this pattern. These are the breakout points. These are the breakout points. And you know, the best part is when you understand when it's at the breakdown point, exactly what can happen. Because then when it gets to the breakout point, you know you're well versed. So now when it comes up here, the only decision you have to make is, are you going to let it play true or are you going to get forced out? We already know the technical target out of a descending wedge that took from January of 2018 to November of 2024 to break out. The target's $5.49 approximately. Now we have some validation here in that price range because the pennant flag breakout, if it breaks the pennant flag and goes to all-time highs, it would get to 539 if you measure the breakout from the resistance on the pennant flag. If you just take the flag of the pennant at the exact breakout point of the consolidation, your first target would be around $3.51 if it breaks out in the next couple of days. So, I mean, there is a lot of stuff going on here. And typically, these break out about 78% of the time. And that's my own understanding. I'm not reading some stupid sheet. This is what I've experienced. And I come up with the probabilities myself. That's why they don't match any book you can read. I give it my own rating. And that's just what I do. What do I say to my newbies that are new to crypto? It depends what era we were in. In 25, I don't say what I would have said in 21. In 21, I would have said, get with it or get the F out. You know, but in 25, it can't be that way. I've evolved too much, and so have all of you. But that's what I'm looking for here. I'm legitimately looking for this kind of movement. Everything is teetering the way it's supposed to be. It's looking the way it's supposed to be. And I'm going to change this back to yellow because it's easier to see that uptrend the way we want. Oh, that's kind of nice. So that's the uptrend we need to get over. Remember, though, if you're paying attention, that monthly fair value gap, the FVG is at $1.82. That's beautiful. The fact we have that layer of support, it expedites our fact that we should be going up here. The fact that we did not make a lower low here and we kept that higher low intact, so friggin' bullish. So freaking bullish. And it's just like when you make a lower low, how it breaks down. If you make a higher high here, you're breaking out. So now we're just looking from this standpoint. Once you get over $2.72 and make that higher high, now all of a sudden you've broken out. Now you're going, you know, it'll get interesting. It'll get interesting is what they say. Ooh, yeah. It'll be like the Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah. Snap into a Slim Jim. You know, it'll be that good. And it is good, guys. It's good. Just think about it. We used to get excited about a 6-cent move. That's not even a few percent anymore. Oh, on the yearly, it's been fantastic as well. No lies detected there. XLM, as I said I would get to in the beginning, and now it's 31 minutes later. We do something special here. We just talk. But anyhow, that looks like a traditional, I guess you could call it a bull flag, but I like to call it the falling channel. And the only reason I like that is because when you say you're in like a falling channel, it just reeks of bullish continuation if you're on a flag. You know, that's what I like to call it. Oh, yeah, JW, back in the day. Let me see what he says. You said pennant flags usually break out at 70% mark, which the chart at the moment is matching what you said because it looks like over the next couple of days it breaks. Yeah, exactly. It is about 70%. I just said 78% because of the way it's set up and what we're dealing with, but you're right. Oh, no, 70% of the move. I got you. 78% of the time in the pennant flag, I feel it'll break out, but at 70% of the move, you're 100% correct. And if you look at XLM as well, and this is me speculating where this next hit could be on support because that's how you would measure this up. Because we really don't know. But that seems fair to me. So it seems like it would be 70%. Resistance, resistance, support, 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 resistance would confirm the pattern. So, I mean, you're really looking at 70% of the move. This one's harder because it looks like a channel formed. That's just me saying that. Who knows if I'm right or not. I'm just speculating after all. Because some would take this and kind of trying to turn it into like a downtrending resistance and the downtrending. I don't agree with that. I think you give what it gives you on a pattern. And what I mean by that is it's giving us proper resistance. Resistance 1, support 1. Resistance 2, support 2. Support 3 after a failed attempt back up to resistance. Came back down to consolidate back up, trying to confirm the pattern of this channel, the falling channel, which is also most likely called a bull flag, a lot of people. But then again, the bull flag, you would have the rising highs and rising lows at the same time. It all depends on how you want to do it. It just all depends how you want to do the technicals. If it was up to me, I wouldn't call them anything. I'd say, look, you got a downward channel because that's what it looks like. You know, whether you want to call it whatever you want, I would just say this is a downward channel. I have no education. I taught myself the charts. And over time, I was able to grasp this because that's how my mind works in real life. So there's nobody better for this than me. And not because I think I'm the smartest person in the room, because that is clearly not the point. I may be one of the dumbest people in the room if you want to be real. Unless it comes to something I'm interested in, I couldn't give a rat's you-know-what about most things. Unless it's relevant. So I am not the smartest person in the room, but because I acknowledge that, I have a lot of room to grow. And it makes me wiser than most in the room just by simply acknowledging that I have no clue what the hell is going on half the time. So, and that might be because it's things that I don't believe. Anyhow, so the bottom line is here is XLM's first target is around 68 cents on a breakout. That is not a joke. The technical target is 94 cents, hasn't changed, and it won't change until that gets felt. Jorge says, smarter than me, Tom. I was so lost before you. Hey, that's okay. I was lost before all of you, so that's fair. Somebody said they have a question, but you don't need to tip to ask a question. My name is XRP Moonbags. I'm going to ask you in my other account. Hey, sounds good, Adam. Sounds good. Somebody said they have a question and they would send a tip. Just ask the question. You don't need to send a tip. If I miss it, it's not because you didn't send a tip. I talk a lot, and a lot of people are talking, and I have a feeling we 250 people. See, we were getting comfortable at 70, 80 people in here, and I said once we broke above $1, that would never happen, as long as the prices were in the right spot. And I don't know, we might not go back to those numbers anymore. We might just stay above 200 because it doesn't seem like any of my lives anymore. You know, proud owner of 1,300 XRP at 92 cents. Hey, I like that. I like that, IQ. Hey, George, yep. It's going to take time before you're not lost. You're in Tom's Army 6+ months now. You're getting there, my friend. You're getting there. Yes, I do own some of the NMR. Remember, I didn't have a large amount. I kept what I have. I still have the NMR. I just kept it. That's the AI one. I just keep it. I said I wouldn't talk about it anymore. But since you did, I'll put it up here again. But yeah, I definitely have it. So that was one that I am, man of my word, I'm not going to sell the AI one because I want to see what it can do over time. And I've been actually feeding into it a little bit. Because it was I think it could be building something. But like I said, you know, there's shares to be built over time if it were to break down. But it's not a large, this is probably my single smallest holding I have. But this isn't over time if it was going to do anything. Over time. And I think it can do something over time. It's just going to take time. But eventually it'll find itself back north of $50. It's a pretty interesting algorithm, but yeah, that's just one I would continue to pay attention to. But obviously that's not one of them you have to have. That's just one that I wanted to have because it's an AI one. That's right, Daniel. That is absolutely right. Somebody asked about XDC. I mean, it's breaking out of the short-term consolidation. There is no doubt about that. I still believe it's going to come up to 12.6 cents here in the near future. I really do. And, like, I don't even think you have to go to that level because it actually clearly showed that it was in something like this now that we look at it, right? So, that's a pretty big pattern setup. It held the uptrend. And now it could be off to the races here. We can expand this into the future just in case, just so we can see where we get our breath of fresh air. Fair enough, Mike. Fair enough. So I'm looking at, and here we can refine these targets, and we'll get into ZIL while I still have your guys' attention. We haven't even looked at Ethereum. We haven't even talked about Bitcoin, which is what I love about this community. Everybody is so caught up in Bitcoin and everything and all these other communities. Utility tokens, yeah, they'll go up and down with Bitcoin, but eventually there's going to come that point. And you're seeing it now in here, later. You've been seeing this. DGB didn't wait to do this 40% for Bitcoin. A lot of these other ones didn't wait to do their 30, 40% for Bitcoin just now. Nope. But if you look at the totality of this move, which is where it gets pretty interesting for XDC, it really does get interesting. And I'm not going to go right down to the bottom. But if you start looking at this from, hey, this is going to break out. Now, obviously, I would probably come from here because it's a slightly different setup. But, I mean, that still gives you plenty of room to get up to, like, 15 cents. Like, there's a major move in TAC here. So, yeah, if you want to. I don't see anything wrong with that. ZIL. I know we were going to talk about ZIL. I don't want to have both of these. I guess I should. Juan, thank you so much for the $15 donation. Says you guys have silently been here for me without you knowing. Oh, I need to read the rest of that. And I will once it comes back up. Silently been here for me without you knowing during a few difficult days. Happy New Year's to all of you. Hey, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army, being very generous with the super chat. But I'm glad we could be here for you, Juan. That's what I believe in this community. That's why I want to keep this to where everybody feels included. And that's why my goal is this year, even when it might not seem like, I don't know, I'm just going to be a more understanding person in 25. And it's already off to a good start because I've caught myself a few times when In past years, I might have went off the rail, especially with the hecklers. But I kind of just ignored it. I think I proved it to myself on TikTok today, too. Anyhow, we back tested here for ZIL. Beautiful back test at 2 cents. Now the push up, we're going to be looking for 3.5 cents. That's why I thought it was such a unique opportunity where it was at on that back test. So I kept adding. I couldn't help it. I added when it came to 1.9. I had to do it. I set it up perfectly with that. I've already explained it, but this move here, it's still got another 40% to get to resistance, if not more. So I believe in a lot of good with ZIL. If it strikes me, it strikes me, but I'm not giving up on ZIL because I believe it's undervalued. I said it yesterday. I said it when it was down here, and I'll continue to say it. ZIL is undervalued, and eventually this is the short-term consolidation, but over time, this pattern is trying to fill to the top. I've never moved this. It's been here for so long. That's why I don't usually look at this chart. But there's things that need to happen. I've got the short term. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Because I don't even want all of this. I just want you guys to see, if you look at it like this, what it's playing inside of. Then if it breaks out of this, you've got 7.5 cents. But then eventually, and this is what I've looked at for a very, very long time. Does it not look like this is what the longer setup is? Which means look how quick it bounces from the bottom to the top. So my own understanding was, even if it's not going to break out of here, why not buy it at 2 cents, even when it was at 1.9? And then if it breaks up there, am I going to be mad if I have to sell for 625% on that eventual move back up? Nope. But Lord have mercy if that breaks out. Like, does anybody even understand what that would mean if this breaks out? And I won't even go from over here. We'll go from right here because we at least have the hit. Whoops. What the hell happened there? I mean, we would have to time it into the future. I don't even know. Let's go right here somewhere. Let's just say by some miracle it breaks out by March of this year. Or February. We'll just give it time so it doesn't look ridiculous. That's 30 cents. If this pattern breaks out from there. But it'll fill in. It's going to fill in. But that's a big target at eventually. Imagine if you bought that at 1.5 cents on average, or 2 cents. Whew. I did not sell 70% of my... No. I sold 70% my overages. The bags I don't need. The bags I don't want. But you know what? Again, it's 25. That is not my job to keep re-explaining myself. You got to watch the content. If you're going to make a comment, I expect you to be educated on it. So go back to that video and watch it very closely in that live. I explained it very carefully and very clearly. But you got to pay attention. Yeah, I sold some of my bag, but when I sold the 800,000 DGB, I said exactly why I did it. I sold it at almost, I don't even remember where it was at now, 1.5. I was looking for 0.0096 to increase a bag on ZIL. Got 104, and then I got to increase. So it's so high. Yeah, I sold a lot of overages that I did not want anymore. I had a bunch of bags that were there to pay for my kitchen and my windows, and I made it very clear. But I also made it very clear, I still have my HRP, my H-bar, V-chain, ZIL. Let's see. On this page, XDC, DGB, XRP, Algo, IOTA, Julia's Doge, Casper. What else do I have? All of this. Everything you see on here I own. Everything I took off is what I sold. So if you don't see it on here, I took it off for overages. Because I wanted to redo my kitchen and my windows. I was very clear about it. Some of it was the house fund. That was the whole point of doing expandable bags that I didn't even want. But yes, I did sell off a lot of my overages. Please, could you answer 100,000 XRP moon bag? Someone in my Discord group asked if 1 million... Wait a minute, what? If 1 million what? I need that to come back up. If 1 million is enough, I was like, is it enough? Yes, it's enough. If I had 1 million XRP from 35 cents, my job would already be done. I'm just going to call it for what it is. What is that? 350,000. It costs at 35 cents if you would have bought 1 million. Which is worth now, you can do the math, 2.45. Well, maybe not that much. It's close. Oh yeah, it's yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, I don't really ever believe when somebody says that in a group. I don't really know much people that would have 1 million tokens that are just sitting in a Discord group to shoot the shit, if I'm being honest. Most people that are in Discord groups are looking for free advice and they're trying to find the easiest way possible with the least amount of resistance to make a bunch of money, which is the wrong route of resistance because you got to learn it yourself. You can't just ask somebody else. That's my personal understanding. Oh, DGB is firing here. I forgot the flip happened. It's up 4% since the flip. Lonham, thank you so much for the 249. What kind is that? I should remember that one. I can't remember that currency. Damn it. I usually do. I can't remember it. The only thing I can think of is a supplement, the knock. But DGB back over 1.5 cents. That's nice. Norwegian. Okay. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Make XRP great again. But yeah, DGB is it's moving a little bit. Definitely is moving a little bit. I was very confident in my my anticipation of what DGB was going to do. I said, would you rather buy it at 104 or 2 cents? I mean, you can make the decision. Actually, I said, would you rather buy it at 104 or 1.3? And then I said, holy crap. Okay, well, that's good enough for me. No, it wasn't 1.3. It was 1.43 because I remember it was riding on this. That was to make it or... Yeah, what happened there? Because it was supposed to be this resistance top. Yeah, that's exactly where it was at. We said, would you rather... Because then it went up 40%. But if it breaks out of here... If it breaks this flag... Like, this is big. This could just shoot up right away. Yeah, it's going to bring you close to that level. If we just mark it from the breakout point here, that's looking at 1.87 just from here. Mark, thank you for the $2.79. Thanks, Tom. Oh, I need to read what that said. Once I get the next comment, I promise I will look. But DGB looks like it's about to fire. Now, if it breaks down, it breaks down. But that's a golden cross in the 2-hourly. Looks like a beautiful bull flag. Looks like it wants to fire here. Mark says, and thank you for your first YouTube super chat. Thanks, Tom. Sent here by my sister, Tanya from... Oh, Tanya is awesome. Between her and Miss Vicky, they're the two most popular people in my community. Their names get talked about more than any other. Miss Vicky, if you're watching out here as well, I hope you're having a blessed start to the new year, and we miss you. But Tanya is seriously like one of the most popular people in here. We love her in this community. Very, very much so. So I'm glad to see her brother's in here too. That's incredible. I wish I could get my family to watch me. She's getting more of a success rate of getting people into my community than even I am. Look at that. That's how awesome she is. But thank you so much for that. You didn't have to send that, but I do appreciate it. I really do. And welcome in, Mark. Like, that is awesome. Be able to tell Tanya, like, even your brother's got the spirit. My new mate. Tom, did you see my tip question? Thank you, brother. Can you please retype it because it's been going so quick? All I seen was tip in there, and that's why I said retype the question. You don't have to send a tip. Unless it's for the cryptocurrency tip. I don't know what that is. But it could have been. Man, DGB looks like it's getting ready here. It really does. I love when my baby tries. I hope it's not just a fake out because the rest of the market pulls it down. But sometimes it does like to pull the market for a minute. And they all look the same, though. Like, I'm not afraid of any of this. Maybe it does come down and retest this too. These don't look bad. These do not look bad to me. But I'm not going to take away this until it finally breaks out of this. We've got the uptrend that it can still hit at 242. IQ, you're in Detroit in March. Excellent. Excellent. Detroit in March. Be safe down there. I owe her thanks. I'm new, but better late than never. Nope. It is never too late. Especially, there's a lot of things that are still very cheap. XRP's outperforming a lot of things. But there are certain sectors And she's a very big fan of H-bar, as I am too. She forced me to not overlook it when it was at our buy zone at 4.5 cents. And I'll be eternally grateful for that, because obviously we're sitting over 30 cents now. But there's just a lot of things going on here. There's a lot of good deals still out here. ZIL still only at 2.3 cents. We've got VeChain now over 5. DGB just, even at 1.5 cents, I look at it and I'm like, man, it's so cheap. In comparison, just in the comparison. But let's look at Bitcoin real quick to see. We recrossed here to invalidate the dot cross, which is fantastic news in the 2-hourly. Actually, it pushed back through to a golden cross now in the 3-hourly as well. That's beautiful. 4-hourly is re-inverted again. That is a good sign. That is a good sign. And if this is a flag, it should play out here to at least the short term, 101,000 roughly. We got some momentum here. We got some momentum. I know it's red right now to start the flip, but we've got some momentum here. Unfortunately, my momentum here on YouTube's coming to an end today because I got to go help Julie. I promised her I would help her with our son here shortly. Because he'll be, I mean, I don't think he's going to fall asleep yet, but he's definitely getting into that moment. But I really feel like we covered everything today. Like, I did everything I wanted to. Ethereum is helping us out like we talked earlier. I know I drew this out with a couple different variations, but they all turned into the inverse head and shoulders. And yesterday, Ethereum was down here at 3,000. Where the hell was it? 3,400 and something. Yeah, it had a nice little surge from yesterday. It really did. Did me proud. So if that's an inverse head and shoulders, I mean, that's really going to make a mark. Could you answer my tip question earlier? I already said I don't remember. I don't know what the question was. I can't answer something I don't know. I said I didn't know. I needed you to repeat it. Because all I seen was tip in there. But if this is what Ethereum's doing, I don't even know what tip is. I don't know what that is. Is that a cryptocurrency? Like, I don't know what it is. Or if you're saying you'll tip me to give an answer, like, that's what I was saying. I don't need a tip for you to ask a question, but I didn't see the actual question. I just seen the word tip as it was passing by at the top. But this inverse setup is what it looks like Ethereum's doing. If that's the case, even if we're bearish, we could come up to a rising broadening wedge if that's what it was on the inside. And it could still come up to 45, 4,600. You're visiting the Detroit Temple. Excellent. That'll be nice. That'll be definitely nice. The question is further up. Yeah, I don't have my phone next to me. The bottom line is I can't go up. Tom, did you see my tip question? I tipped $5 earlier and asked the question. All right, I will go get my phone so that I can see the tip. I didn't see the tip. I'm sorry. All right. Now I am better able to accommodate. All right. Now I am better. Now let me scroll up and see if it's on here. Let's see. Is this a good sell level? I was going to sell my initial investment of $50K for a hopeful potential dip. I want cash in case we do crash. Thank you. Inside of a pennant flag, it is very, very difficult to say that's the right time. The fact that we have these golden crosses, the fact we're on a flag here. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I'm glad that you reinforced it because that's a great question. Because you've got obviously some substantial money that you've made. God, it's so hard for me to tell somebody to sell it in the pennant flag. That was the same thing we talked about here. Make sure this pennant flag breaks. And now that we've got a flag here, it makes it super difficult to say I would sell it here. I would say the most likely scenario for a dip, it's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news when Trump gets elected. So I expect some kind of upward volatility going into the Trump inauguration. But the closer we get, I don't know, it would be dangerous to sell. One could argue in the 4-hourly we could be forming a long leg doji to the downside, which is valid. But my gut tells me never sell it inside of a pennant flag until it breaks down. Because a pennant flag breaks bullish a majority of the time. That's what my gut tells me. And I'm not a financial advisor, so, nor do I ever want to be one, because I could be if I wanted to be. I think that's pretty self-explanatory and evident by my history. But I would not sell it inside the pennant flag. That's just my own personal, rule. I don't sell in pennant flags, period. It has to force me out of this market. Now, if I was looking to take profit, I've already been very transparent. $5.49 or $5.39. But if we go to all-time highs and you want to go, hey, it's going to bounce up at $3.51 or $3.48, and then it's going to back test the old breakout at $2.92, or maybe even worse. It all depends where we end up with Trump. If Trump's coming in and we're still inside of this target zone, it's not probably a good sign. But honestly, my gut says don't sell it inside the pennant flag. And it usually doesn't steer me wrong if I listen to my gut. It's when I listen to my emotion where I get in trouble. So I'm going to leave it at that. I got to go help Julie. I'm getting a signal. And I don't want to get in trouble. But I want to go help her. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate every single person. Have a blessed evening. Don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Remain humble. Show humility. And we'll be back tomorrow around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to probably do a short at some point tonight because I didn't do one earlier. But tomorrow's Saturday, so we'll be doing the live in the morning before I go to my nephew's playoff basketball game. So I'll be doing it in the morning when I first get up. So I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock when I'm first up and at it on a Saturday. We'll do about an hour tomorrow morning. And then I'll do a short at some point and we'll see how it goes. So it'll be very, very cool. Hashtag be better, do better in the comments. And stay safe, stay humble, and stay focused because we got a long ways to